It is currently 8:14 a.m. This is documentation of the sex offense committed by the people of the state. These are the demon-possessed that are residing at a crime scene where it is, in other words, very easy for the federal government to find them, to raid them, to arrest them, and prosecute them. This is a crime committed by the government in an entirely circus-like environment. This is where the fake sun is present at 8:14 in the morning, and you're mindful of the fact, like I documented yesterday, at 9:50 in the morning, as a matter of video documentation, that is, the fake sun is remaining at this time of year over me at Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, but yet you're looking at what is the documentation showing hours from now, such as 8 hours from now, where this fake sun that is over this same apartment building is right here over this same apartment building. Where demons are stalking, you have engineered light that's sweeping across the ceiling on the inside, and this is sex offenders that are walking in engineered light. That's not sunlight on the sidewalk appearing in the shade. That's a sex offender that also worships my genitalia, and psychopaths that engage in that conduct while they listen to me recite the facts. And this is speaking to the violence that the people of the state pose, that the government poses, while still engaging in the inconspicuous and conspicuous stalking system, and doing so while practicing lawlessness. Okay, the entity is looking. You can see this engineered light. This is perpendicular. It's light that's overlapping, going in opposite directions. This is impossible light activity, the evidence of a stalker. And these are the same demons that were engaged in what is hours of prolonged psychological torture while they open and close their door. It's amplified inside of the apartment. They do so for a prolonged period. As I began documenting them, this is what I shared on the podcast. They're all going to prison. They're all demons that live under a fake sun. And there's no vantage point where sunlight is going to, first of all, appear inside of the apartment. Second of all, it's not going to sweep across the ceiling. This is what the entity is doing while living. Those demons are pacing on Vine Avenue. They're engaged in a sex offense, and they're doing so on behalf of the city of Ontario. That is gang stalking, and so is Pollyann. All right, this is the removal of public officials who are corrupt, sex offending gang stalkers, terrorists, and like Pollyann. And so are all of those that fill the city of Ontario. This is pacing. And there is no vantage point where you can hear the traffic inside of the apartment. That's the population admitting to stalking and monitoring the genitalia of the woman that they're stalking. Okay, that's gang stalking under a fake sun. That's why the whole state is being prosecuted, because you're understanding their participation in what is a corporate act that they share in demons who are in engineered light walking all around, monitoring you right in front of your face. That's called impunity. That's why units 33 through 64 are going to federal prison for that impunity. Driving around, walking around, engaging in what is the prolonged means of psychological torture while a fake sun remains idle over the apartment building. All right, this is where the P.O.C. is underway, and Tracy Banks is documented making amplified noise inside of a kitchen. Doing so while you will see in the image, the demon is just staring at the refrigerator. What's actually happening is this is a demon, this is a witch, and she's actually manifesting as a demon while the basic activity that she's engaging in is amplified in volume so loud that the content that I'm listening to on my headphones is piercing through and interrupting sleep. This is an angry demon based on the evidence that I am continuously accumulating against her and the state of California. This is criminal activity by an entire apartment complex. I want to let you know, while you see this fake sun, none of these demons are asleep. All right, this is while you see this engineered light for monitoring, none of these demons are asleep. While the engineered light is sweeping across the ceiling inside of the apartment, like I documented the other day, and went outside to get the third party's license plate, which the demons anticipate. So you don't need to have a vehicle parked in the parking lot. They're pacing on Vine Avenue on foot and on vehicle, and they are also living in relevant position. But I just want to be clear: there's no natural environment that includes what is the sun that's still going to be here after 4:30 p.m., where you see demons like Uber Eats gang stalking in the middle of the afternoon under that fake sun that's over this same building. That's how you know what Uber Eats is. Uber Eats is a sex offending, gang stalking, corrupt company that comes to participate in domestic terrorism with the people of the state, with the city of Ontario. And I'm going to prosecute that sex offender whose license plate I got, and Uber Eats, which is a corrupt company. It is also headquartered in what is San Francisco. San Francisco is never having any sun in its sky space while the demons are gang stalking in Ontario amongst amplified noise that you just heard by demons who are also the same ones that are worshiping my genitalia, because they also know what I'm saying and what I'm doing inside of a private space. So this is exposing massive sexual violence. This is exposing what is unprecedented stalking that's committed by government and corrupt companies like AVANATH Capital Management, whose criminal interference with quiet enjoyment is the means whereby ongoing activity creation so that a government can maintain criminal surveillance inside of a private space. It is the federal imprisonment of every employee, including Linda Reyes, that acts with impunity while the engineered light threatens my safety. It is an interference with quiet enjoyment, and she continuously engages in this ongoing unlawful threat with impunity. This is evidence that's speaking to how long she's going to federal prison. She's going for a prolonged term. All right, and I also want to be clear, she does not mind going to federal prison, and that's where monsters and sex offenders like her belong. And if she is not a natural born citizen, and every other gang stalking demon in the city of Ontario every gang stalking immigrant is going to be deported. All right, it is currently, when you're looking at this fake sun, 8:19 a.m. You see the entity gang stalking with a demon of 42 at 10 o'clock in the morning, where it's still over and it goes to apartment 41, and then it goes right back to position. You see this fake sun over at 11:40 in the morning, where the Ontario Police Department are gang stalking with that same demon from unit 42, and then it goes right back to be over me at this same apartment. You see this fake sun that's here over this same apartment building when I am walking out of the apartment at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where this demon Uber Eats is stalking in the path with the method of flashing light, while the ongoing program of psychological torture via amplified noise is maintained inside of the apartment, where a bunch of demons are violent sex offenders stalking where they live, and they're all going to federal prison, and it is punctuated with the maintenance of an idle fake sun, and it is also juxtaposed with the crime scene in Los Angeles, where the LAPD were practicing the same criminal system. That is the state of California monitoring me everywhere that I'm going. It is the prosecution of Woodside Senior Apartments. All of these demons that are gang stalking today, and all 144 units, are going to be homeless tomorrow when they're federally prosecuted under the Violence Against Women Act, and the demons going to federal prison and live in units 33 through 64, where you see this fake sun and where they're inside of this building. They're all going to prison. And this is the entity acting with regard to the public corruption that's underway, living and traveling relevant position, which is accomplishing the elements of monitoring while the demonic surrounds. And this is designed to psychologically torture an American citizen. And they're all monitoring the evidence that I continuously publish online. So this is also relevant to criminal obstruction, which AVANATH Capital Management, Daryl J. Carter, this is a corrupt chairman and CEO over a gang stalking landlord company that has the audacity of participating in federal housing programs to support the terrorists that are living at the property. This is going to be an entire strip down of this criminal operation. All right, the domestic means of stalking by a corrupt government. It's currently, again, 8:21 a.m. This is ongoing gang stalking, and it is prefaced by the maintenance of a specific environment. All right, this is the entity that's doing so on an ongoing basis. Anybody comes onto the grounds to engage in crossing a path. You don't even have to live here. All right, they're walking in engineered light. You can see he's just walking in the engineer light that's just appearing out of nowhere. That's a gang stalker. All right, crossing path in doing so while the fake sun is idle. Yeah, this is gang stalking. And that are going to federal prison are going to federal prison for this sort of conduct. The entity amplifies plain activity while a demon walks in the engineer light together. All right, they do so while engineer light remains on the ceiling around behind the front door on the ceiling all day long, and maintaining this light source in alignment to me at this apartment. That's P.O.C. All right, that's the city of Ontario that's going to be shut down with the removal of an airport that's used for aerials, and the criminal contribution to public corruption. Those over 55 that can't pay their rent, that are gang stalking with the corrupt government. They do the same thing while the demons in the helicopters fly right over the venue, and they're engaging in the elements of monitoring and not ignorant about the fake sun that they're walking under, and doing so while they're monitoring my genitalia as well. Hurtling under the fake sun in an engineered light while my panties are down in the bathroom. Okay, these are the sex offenders over 55. It is currently, again, 8:22 a.m. This is P.O.C.